أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome. I am so glad you're here. We're going to share some reflections today on an absolutely beautiful and profound text. It comes from the first chapter of Ibn Arabi's own summary of his masterpiece, and it focuses on the wisdom hidden in the story of Adam, peace be upon him.
Now, everything we're about to explore is guided by the insights from a spiritual reading circle on the Inner Horizon podcast, and it's been lovingly compiled by Mir Ali Shah. So you can think of this as just a seeker's attempt to share a few drops from a very, very deep ocean of meaning.
Okay, to really get this, I want you to picture something with me. A watch. You look at it, you see the frame, you see the hands moving, and from that outer form you understand the time. But what about the intricate, complex mechanism inside? The gears, the springs, all the inner workings that actually make it tick. Those remain hidden. That core idea of an outer form revealing a hidden inner reality, that's going to be our guide today.
So what's our roadmap for this journey? Well, we're going to start with this central metaphor of the bezel. Then we'll see how that connects to the idea of the heart as a place of inscription. After that, we'll zoom out and look at the cosmic why behind all of creation, and then understand the unique role we humans play in that. And finally, we'll bring it all back home to what this imprint means right here, inside of you. All right, let's dive right in with this first idea, the bezel of wisdom. Honestly, this is the foundation for everything else that follows. So the big idea here is that a prophet is like the bezel of a ring. You know, that metal setting that holds the gemstone? They aren't the jewel of wisdom itself, but they are the essential setting. They're the protective, defining frame that holds that jewel, keeps it secure, and allows its beauty to actually be seen and understood by us. I mean, without the bezel, the jewel would just be lost, right?
Now this is where that metaphor starts to deepen, becoming so much more personal and really so much more profound.
The key Arabic term we need to know is fuss. On one level, it means the bezel, just like we talked about, but it also means the epitome of something, its absolute quintessence. And think about this. The bezel of a ring, especially an old signet ring, is the exact place where the owner's name is inscribed. It's what marks its identity.
And what about this wisdom that the bezel holds? What is it? Well, the text defines it in this incredibly practical way. It's not just theory, it's not just abstract knowledge. It's two things. First, knowing the reality of things as they truly are. And second, speaking and acting in a way that is perfectly, beautifully appropriate for that specific moment.
And all of this wisdom is connected to the divine name Allah. In this spiritual context, this name is understood to be the all-inclusive one. It's the name that embraces and contains every single other divine name and quality you can think of. The merciful, the just, the forgiving, the creator, all of them.
So, here's where it all clicks. The text teaches that the perfected human heart becomes the ultimate fuss. It becomes the bezel, the prime surface upon which the reality of that all-inclusive divine name is inscribed. See what happened? We move from a prophet as an external frame to our very own heart as the internal one.
But that just begs the question, right? Why? Why does any of this even exist? Why go to all the trouble? Let's zoom out and try to understand the grand design behind this beautiful idea.
There's this incredible, famous, mystical saying, a hadith Qudsi, where God speaks in the first person. And it gives us the whole purpose right there. I was a hidden treasure, and I wanted to be known, so I created the world. You can feel the love in that, can't you? It's a desire for a hidden reality to be seen, to be witnessed, to be experienced.
And the way this happens is just brilliant. The text explains that the divine names, like the All-Merciful, they almost demand a place to be expressed. I mean, think about it. How can mercy be known if there isn't a being to receive mercy? How can forgiveness be known without someone to forgive? The entire cosmos, the whole universe, becomes the mirror for these hidden divine lights.
So, if the entire cosmos is the mirror, where do we fit in? What's the human being's role in all this? This brings us to the absolutely unique place that humanity, as represented by Adam, plays in this whole cosmic theater. The text gives us this stunning image. It says to picture the world itself as a vast, complete body, all polished and ready. And then, the human reality, the perfect man, is brought into being to be its spirit, its animating principle, the very soul of the cosmos. And without that spirit, the world would just be a lifeless form. As one person in the reading circle pointed out, this can feel so painfully true today. We have a world with incredible technological power, this amazing body that can sometimes feel so spiritually hollow. I don't know, does that resonate with you at all?
Now check this out, because the distinction the text makes is huge. It says other beings were created with one hand. That means they manifest either divine beauty, Jamal, think of angels of mercy, or they manifest divine majesty, Jalal, like angels of justice or wrath. But the human being was created with two hands, uniquely prepared to realize and manifest both beauty and majesty, gentleness and strength. And because of this comprehensive nature, this unique ability to hold both realities at once, the perfected human acts as a barzakh. It's an isthmus, a bridge. They are the meeting point between the vast sea of the inward spiritual world and the sea of the outward physical world. And they connect these two realities without letting one just cancel the other out. Okay, so we've journeyed through some pretty deep and profound ideas. But the big question is, what do we do with all of this? How does this ancient wisdom actually matter for a seeker walking the path today? Let's bring it all home.
The reading circle distilled it all down into 3 really practical things we can do. First, to start seeing the prophets not just as historical figures, but as living frames that help make divine wisdom receivable for our own hearts. Second, to learn to hold both of those hands, both majesty and beauty, our strength and our softness, our discipline and our mercy, and to hold them with adab, with a kind of graceful, beautiful discipline. And third, if the heart is where the divine names are written, then our spiritual work is simply to polish that surface, to make it clear, quiet, and reflective through our practice. And that brings us to our final thought. This text, it's not just about a prophet who lived thousands of years ago. As one of the readers put it so beautifully, there is Adam, the prophet, and there is an Adam within each of us. The real invitation of this text of the Imprint is to recognize that potential inside ourselves, to see ourselves as a small mirror, a humble servant, and yes, a place where that hidden treasure can, even for a moment, become known. So the final question is simply, what might that look like in your life?